morning. So, I was asked a question about how to teach the horse to over with the front end because most of my over lessons show how to teach the hind end. The front end is done by a draw, but it does help to have taught the horse the difference between cross your front feet over with direction and not leave. So I always make sure that I give my horses a go cue. So a single kiss means walk, double kiss means trot, four kisses and rapid fire means canter. And those are always my go cues and what gait I'm looking for with each go cue. I do not kiss or cluck for backup or for come to me or anything like that. And anytime I want just a step, whether it's a step forward, step sideways, step whatever, I say step up. And that means to the horse, they only need to take one step forward. So what I teach is not only how to go, I also teach how to move your front feet in the direction I'm asking you to move your front feet in, but I'm not asking you to go anywhere. I'm just asking you to pick a direction, and not pick a direction, but to take my guidance in the direction that I've chosen. So how I would start that is standing in front of the horse. I've tried to figure out the best way to give people a gauge. I've said, you want a pony distance between you and the horse's nose. That doesn't seem to register enough. People still end up way too close. I always say your horse can't hear you if you're too close to your horse. And hear you is what I mean by they can't read your body language. Your horse cannot read you if you're right up against his nose. So I'm going to lose storage here. It's probably going to cut out, and I'm going to end up having to do this video all over again. I have the worst luck with video. Okay, so I came up with like the size of a quad, and that was because one of my students is a young person who drives a quad, and I'm like, be a quad distance away. Now let's see if that helps other people too. Make sure that you're a quad distance, a piece of machinery distance away from your horse when you ask. You're going to point. Now that's the important part, is where do you point? You point over their shoulder. You don't point in that direction, like I want you to go that way, because if you follow the line from the horse's nose to your hand, you're actually telling the horse to come to you. If you point over their shoulder, you're asking them to turn their head and look in the direction you just pointed. Once their nose is pointed that way, their neck and their shoulder and then their feet can follow. Once their head turns, you can influence the shoulder. You need their head to turn before you can tell them what direction you want their feet to go. Then you would just support gently for movement. You wouldn't ask for go. You would support for movement. So you would take the line and you would lob it, kind of like laundry swaying on a laundry line, just in the wind. You would just lob the line at the horse's shoulder, causing the horse to want to move away from that energy. But you wouldn't do a full fan of energy, because then the horse would think to go, because there's a lot of influence there. Once the horse has taken the crossover step in the direction that you've chosen, you go quiet, completely quiet. So in this case, I would teach the horse to go to my right. I would tell them to turn to their left, because if you're looking for the mounting block over aspect, you're going to want the horse to be comfortable crossing over to the left without going anywhere. So I would teach that first, and then I would start positioning myself closer and closer to the shoulder, also giving myself a quad distance away, but I would then bend in an inviting way, like you're calling a puppy to you. Doesn't have to be like bent over in half at the hip, but just encouragement. And then I use kind of a combing hand gesture to say, bring your shoulder this way. And my focus and my intention is to draw the shoulder towards me magnetically. Draw that shoulder. Once you've drawn the shoulder one step towards you, if you feel the horse goes forward, then that means you might be too far in front of him. then choose to go a little bit further towards the girth, towards the ribs, also keeping that same distance. The distance is